POCO C40 is a new series model by POCO. It is the cheapest POCO phone that they've released this year. We're gonna find out why is it so cheap, and would you consider this as your next phone? Well, those are the questions that we're gonna answer today, and we're gonna talk more about the POCO C40. Let's go. First thing we find opening the box is the POCO C40, and behind it is the SIM ejector pin. You'll also find the quick start guide and also the safety information along with the warranty card. It also comes with the basic charging cable, which is type C to type A, and a 10-watt power adapter. Just opening the box, you already see that they've cut down some cost over here. Well, it doesn't come with a screen protector and also a cover. Those are the things that they've actually removed from the box, probably just to cut cost or to minimize the cost for this phone. It doesn't really require a case because the back has a texture. It looks like leather, but it is actually a plastic, and it comes with dual camera. So at the back you'll have the POCO logo printed, and there is a fingerprint sensor, and the camera panel is quite shiny. I would say it looks pretty nice and elegant. First impression when I look at the back of the phone is that it doesn't look very cheap. And at the side you'll find the power button and also the volume buttons. And at the top you have the 3.5mm jack, and at the side you have the SIM tray, which you can put 2 nano SIM cards and an SD card. And at the bottom there's a microphone, you have the Type-C port and a speaker. It only comes with a single speaker, and the side is very much obvious that it's plastic. And at the front you have a flat screen with a dot drop display. It's just typical weight with a 204 grams. Although this is a very budget phone, an entry-level phone, it is a dust and splash resistant. Holding the phone is quite comfortable. It doesn't really slip, even though there's no cover that comes with it. When it comes to its display, it is an IPS LCD screen. Screen size is pretty huge at 6.71 inches. The resolution is 1650 by 720 HD. It has a Corning Gorilla Glass, but they haven't specified which version of Corning Gorilla Glass. And it also has a sunlight display mode and a reading mode as well. It has a built-in Android 11 and MIUI 13. I would say it's a little bit step back because Android 11 was released way back, and we don't know when it will have the Android 12 or whether or not it will have the Android 13. And the chipset is a JLQ, which is JR510 11 nanometer, which is probably the very first POCO that has this processor. To be honest, this is an entry-level processor. It's either 3 gig with 32 gig internal memory or 4 gig RAM with a 64 gig internal memory. Camera, at the back you have a 13 megapixel and a 2 megapixel for depth, and it also has an LED flash. And for its selfie camera, it has a 5 megapixel f2.2 and it features HDR. When it comes to its battery, it has a 6000 milliamp hour non-removable battery and supports fast charging of 18 watts. But take note, the charger that comes from the box is only 10 watts. It is a pretty huge battery, and I would think it would probably charge the phone a little bit longer. We're going to talk about more on that later. And it also has a rear mounted fingerprint sensor, which was quite common on an earlier models of phones. It has 3 colors, which is the Power Black, Coral Green, and POCO Yellow. Let me show you on the experiences that I have on the POCO C40. First thing I'm going to talk about is its display. Its colors are not that vibrant. You won't see like high saturation of colors. It's quite flat, to be honest. Although it's basic, but you can still watch good quality videos because of its screen size, and the dot drop or its front-facing camera is not bothering me at all. I just find that when you are actually looking at its size, the phone would actually look dimmer compared to looking straight to the phone. When it comes to pixel, it's a full HD plus, but because its screen size is bigger, so you won't really have a very sharp picture. But nevertheless, what I'm concerned most of the time is the quality of the colors. It has some a little bit faded colors, to be honest, because I'm probably used to other models, especially that it's slightly higher end compared to this. But then again, this is an entry-level phone, which is totally understandable. It has a Corning Gorilla Glass, but I'm not sure what version of Corning Gorilla Glass it has. It would probably have some scratches since it doesn't come with a screen protector. Although it's only 400 nits, but it's still quite visible even though you're in direct sunlight or if it's too bright. But then again, you have to watch it direct or like actually straight to the phone. If you watch it from the sides, it becomes dimmer. It seems like you put some privacy screen protector, if you know what I mean. And because of the screen size, it's quite hard for you to do a one-hand operation. Alright, talking about the memory, I would suggest that you put an SD card and use that SD card as much as possible, because this only has a 64 gig. And if you download maybe some games, especially those heavy games, you'll actually run out of space. On this phone, I only downloaded 2 games, which is Call of Duty Mobile and the Mobile Legends. It actually took a large chunk of the memory, which is now I'm left with 20 gig. And this is a 64 gig internal memory storage. Taking pictures, it's quite basic, but you will still get good quality photos, especially if it's well lit or maybe if it's quite sunny. Photos taken if it's gloomy or probably indoor photos, the color will appear washed off, so there's not much detail. I would say it's quite basic camera. You can take full HD videos up to 30 frames per second. It comes with its front-facing camera. It has that 5 megapixel. Again, it's not that fantastic. It tends to be a little bit darker, and the sound quality is quite basic, but I would say it's not really bad. You can still enjoy your movies or probably games or just listening to music on loudspeaker.
Just let me go. Please let me go. You like to love so hard and then you throw it away. You like to open skies and then you blame it on me. You're someone I can never be with. You joke about my flaws.
It has a huge 6,000 battery. It would last more than a day based on my usage. Just take photos, take videos, and also occasional games. It almost lasted 2 days based on a heavy usage on this phone. But since the charger is only 10 watts, although it actually supports 18 watts, probably the best thing is to charge it overnight. And this version that I have does not have NFC, but it does support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and there's no 5G on this phone. It comes to its processor. It is an entry-level processor. Heavy games won't work on this phone, like PUBG, very sluggish, so I wouldn't recommend that you actually play that game on this phone. And if you are trying to play the Diablo Mobile, it's also not playable because it has some graphics issue. You're not gonna play it at all. But I was able to play it without any speed issue with the Call of Duty Mobile and also the Mobile Legends. So I was pretty amazed because those games would tend to lean on a much better processor, but even though this is an entry-level processor, I was able to play those games without any issue. And here are the benchmark scores that I've run. Not too fantastic, but just for your reference, you might as well look at this benchmark scores. Alright, let me now answer those questions. Why is this so cheap? Well, first, you've already seen when I unbox this phone, there's no screen protector, there's no cover that comes with any phone. This is the very first POCO or even Xiaomi phone that I've encountered that doesn't have the back cover, or at least a silicone case. So they've cut a budget on those, and it is made out of plastic, most of it, although the back has some good texture. It looks elegant, but still it's made out of plastic. The sides as well is also made out of plastic. It doesn't really look so cheap. When you look at the screen, you will clearly notice that this is an entry level or a budget model phone. And to answer the next question, would you consider getting this as your next phone? Well, it would really depend on your usage. This might not be very popular for those who likes gaming and also who likes taking photos, because that's not the strength of this phone. So I would probably suggest maybe for kids, so if your kids is on the right age or you're probably planning to get your kid a phone, this is a good thing to consider, especially it has a good battery life. There's no issue with calling signal issue, and also it has some decent quality when it comes to its gaming. Also, it would be great for those elderly to use this phone. It's good for browsing, it's good for watching videos, it has a huge battery, the screen size is quite huge, so this is a great phone to consider. Let me know what you think, leave a comment down below. This has been Christian from All About Me. I'll see you on the next video.